What's going on, guys? My name is D'Anthony. I want to go over my AMD trade that I took this morning. I want to go over my thought process, so maybe you guys can get a little bit of a better understanding as to how I'm approaching the markets each and every single day. Why did I take this trade? Where was I looking to take profits, and where I actually could have made more money, right? So understanding for next time I'm in a particular play like this, maybe I can work on some things as well. Because remember, at the end of the day, I am human, you are human, we all make mistakes. We don't trade the best each and every single day. Even when we make money, we could always do something better. So just looking at the AMD chart, if we start off, if you guys were to go and look at AMD's daily chart, going back to last week, we know we had an explosion, okay? Yesterday, this thing really took off out of the gates, kind of confirming that, and today as well. So obviously, coming into today, I already understood that AMD is a strong name. So am I looking to short this stock? No. One problem that I see happening a lot is traders will come into the market. They'll start to look at these stocks that are up 1-2 days, and they'll start wanting to go against a trend and thinking that they're a little bit smarter than what's actually going on. You're looking for the short position. You're looking for some massive pullback. You're looking to make money. Oh, if this comes down, I'm going to make so much money. Instead of just allowing the chart to do what the chart's going to do and trading the setup that you see. So we can see here in the pre-market, we started to pull back. Now notice the pullback in the pre-market. And once the market opened, I'm going to draw a little bit of a line here just so you guys can see the candlestick that I'm talking about. If you notice, the candle off the open started to push higher. So immediately what we have here is a little bit of a low being put in here, just right below these pre-market lows. That price was 131.93. So as I'm looking at the market start to ramp up here off the open, I know that if we were to lose those pre-market lows and confirm that opening range candle low, that potentially there might be a little bit of a pullback that I do not want to take part in. Now, what I'm looking for here is a close over the 20 SMA. Why? I want to see it get back up over supply, and I want to see it start approaching pre-market highs, because I know I've got nothing but open skies ahead, right? If you look at the daily chart, got a little bit of a breakout going on here on AMD. So if you notice here at 6:35 in the morning, we get that close over the 20 SMA. We come right into this Bollinger Band, and at 6:40, I take my long. And what happens when I take my long? I immediately go into drawdown. The most average trader out there, the average retail trader, what they are going to do when they go into drawdown is start to panic. One, because they're oversized and they don't like watching that P&L go down. They're not comfortable with the position size on how many options contracts that they take. So when it starts to pull back and it goes against you, you start to not be familiar with that feeling, and it tends to make you make irrational decisions. However, looking at the chart, I already know that we've got a low of day here at 131.93. My entry's up here at around 134. I took the 133 call, so I'm a little bit in the money already to jump. So these contracts, if they do move in my favor, I already know they're going to move very, very quickly. However, I also understand that if it pulls back against me, it's also going to show a big red P&L very, very quickly as well. Now, what's my stop loss? My stop loss is going to be a close, not a break, but a close underneath my reason why candle. So my reason why candle is sitting here. It's that 6:35 PST candle. Now you're going to notice that we actually do break that reason why candle's low. Am I going to get out of the trade just because it wicks below? No, I need it to close. I already know that the low of day is sitting down here at 131.93. So my assumed risk, my max pain where you squeeze the life out of me, is if we start to break below 131.93. My stop loss will be a close, again, I want to repeat that, a close below the reason why candle. My max pain is 131.93. Why is my max pain and my stop loss different? My stop loss just means that if we close below my reason why I need to get out. My max pain is if I break this, now it could be a complete free fall flush. I need to get out of that quickly, like now. I'm not going to wait for that to close. I need to get out of that. So that's how I'm managing this trade. Until then, I just sit in the trade and I let the trade do its thing. Now, what am I looking for as far as potential? If we notice my reason why candle, it's overall supply. My next area of supply is a linear regression sitting up here at around 135.5. That's all I'm looking for. This goes up to almost $140 and I missed out on about $4 on that move, but that's okay. Like, I'm not looking for that. That's someone else's money. I'm not really looking for that. So as this starts to creep back up here and it starts to get back over and starts to really ride this trending power move SMA, which is the 5 on the 5-minute time frame, I sell, and I drew these lines here to show you kind of where I was selling. I sell into supply. So I'm selling into this linear regression where I unload 5 contracts. And what I'm waiting to see have happen is, do we confirm that top supply that I just sold into? And if we confirm, I'm going to sell some more. Whether you're trading options or you're trading stock, you give them more stock back, give them more options back. So you can see here at 7:15, we break and we put in a high up to 136.26. Now, I didn't top tick this, but as we started to break this supply and break where I sold half my position size, I'm selling into 135.70, 135.80, 135.90s, and I just get out. I have 133 strikes. My entry price is here at 134.15. I made $2 on this move in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. This is a 30 to 40 minute trade. The P&L's on the screen. I posted up the screenshot so you guys can see the options contracts. Guys, the only thing I could have done better was hold a runner. That's the only thing I could have done better. I followed my plan the way I wanted to follow my plan. And if you don't have a plan, you're going to plan to fail. It is what it is. Plan to win or plan to fail, it doesn't really matter. If you don't have a plan, you will fail. If you don't understand what's going on the charts and you don't understand where potentially these stocks can go, and you don't understand where potentially, if you're wrong, where you need to get out, you have no plan. You will be a sitting duck each and every single time, and the market will take your money hand over fist. Now, even when you have a plan, the market will still take your money, but at least you were expecting that. So when you're not expecting to lose, or you're not expecting something to happen that you didn't see, right? Remember, as traders, we all want the truth until the truth does not align with what we wanted. Now, as a trader, you have to understand you're going to be wrong. There's nothing more you can do once you're in the trade. You can't sit here at the computer screen and blow the candlesticks in your favor. All you have to do managing your trade is understand, where do I want to get out? What am I going to take as a loss if it gets to this point? Let the trade play out. It's very simple. Why did I want to trade AMD today? The stock's been hot. I want to trade a stock that's still strong. You can see off the open, just looking across the triple Qs and the other stocks in the tech sector, a lot of those stocks are pulling back today. But AMD is continuously being strong. So I want to be in the strong name if I want to go long. So again, could I have, held a runner and squeezed more out of this rock? That's probably the only thing I could have done a little bit better, okay, was actually just leaving maybe even one contract on the table just to see if we can stretch, right? Because technically I had no reason to get out. We're still trading over the 5 SMA. We're still trading over the 10, and we're well above the 20 SMA. So yes, in my notes tonight, I need to hold a runner, at least one contract, right? I need to hold a runner if we're still trending in that direction. So that's what I'm going to work on. As far as on the future side of things too, I need to get better at holding runners if we're still technically in the trade. But I just wanted to break down my thought process. Why did I want to take this trade? How come I wasn't looking to short? Why would I look to short a strong name? If we would have maybe confirmed the lows off the second hour candle, so the first 30 minutes of the market opens, it closes, the second hour candle starting to form, and we take out the pre-market lows now, yes, maybe there was an opportunity there. But I'm not going to jump into a short position on a strong name just because we have a little bit of a pullback. I'm not going to get out or get squeamish on my trade when we pull back here after my entry, when my stop loss is here. I already knew my max pain. I already understood that if we closed below my 1 bar stop, I'm going to get out. I already knew that. So if you already knew that and you're already expecting that, when it does happen, you can just get out of the trade and continue to move along with your day and continue to find the next setup and take your trades. So many of you guys are so concerned and worried about losing trades, but there's nothing you can do to predict or like to force the outcome. There's only two potential situations that are going to happen once you click the buy or the sell button. You're either going to make money or you're going to lose money, or you can break out at break even. That's it, guys. So looking at trades that fail, when you do have a plan and you go into it, you didn't do anything wrong. You followed your plan, and that's just the way that the chips fell. Start understanding that the chips are going to fall a little bit on the right, the chips are going to fall a little bit on the left, and you're going to have a little bit of chips spread across the middle. Okay? Doesn't necessarily mean that you as a trader have done anything wrong. You need to overcome that fear. You need to overcome that anxiety. You need to get more trades under your belt and take more trades so you get more screen time and more experience. More experience does not mean back testing more. More experience does not mean looking at the markets every single day and hoping and wishing you took the trade. More experience doesn't mean doing the same dumb things every day, oversizing, trying to hit home runs. That's not good screen time. Good screen time is following a plan, going in with risk or contract size that you can afford to stomach if it loses, and then letting the trade play out, and then managing the trade, and then re-evaluating how did you do on your performance at the end of the day when the trade's over. Okay. If you guys are looking to trade with me each and every single day live, perhaps get a little bit of insight on how you can get to where you want to get to as a trader, because we're all at different stages of the game. Some traders are profitable and they want to know how to increase their profits. There's other traders out there who are still trying to get consistent and break into profitability territory. There's some traders who have FOMO, anxiety over trade, revenge trade, give back profits on the day. What are those issues? Let's work through those issues. Let's find that mistake. Let's pinpoint it and let's correct it so we can get to the best possible version trader of ourselves that we can potentially be. Again, nobody's perfect. The market's not perfect. You're never going to win every trade. But if we understand what we need to work on a day in and day out basis, you're going to be light years ahead of everyone else who is still fumbling in the bag and looking for the perfect strategy. Stop looking for the perfect strategy because it's not out there. Okay? Stop looking to never have that feeling of anxiety or of, oh, I might lose. I get that feeling 9 years later that every trade's going to lose. I go into the trade expecting to lose. I go into the trade expecting the market to do what the market does and stop me out. Every single trade. That never goes away. That feeling never goes away. But I've learned to work with that feeling to allow me to stay consistent and take my trades when my trade opportunities present themselves. So if you're looking to get over the hump and you're looking to understand what it actually takes, and you want to start being profitable and stop making the same mistakes and stop over trading and stop giving back profits and stop mismanaging trades, then let's fix it. Let's work on it because it's definitely doable. But what it's going to require is you. You, at the end of the day, are the only person who is going to be able to make the change. I cannot want to win more than you want to do what's right. Again, I cannot want you to win more than you are willing to do what is right. So why not figure out what we're doing wrong? Let's work on it actively to do what's right, and let's get to the outcome that we foresee us having, which is a profitable outcome, which is a less stressful outcome, which is not blowing money and blowing accounts and losing funded accounts and losing, options accounts. Let's stop doing that because you don't have to. You don't have to invest thousands of dollars into this market before you're profitable. What you need to do is understand yourself and understand the things that you're doing wrong so that you can correct them in the fastest manner as possible so you can get to the other side. Again, this game is a probabilities game 50-50, right? Even your best trading strategies out there are going to hit at a 40-50% win rate, but we need to make sure that we're winning more than we're losing. How do we do that? By understanding our emotions first and understanding our risk management second, and taking the trade setups that come to us, not cherry picking trades. I don't want to take AMD long today because we're on a 3-day run up. I think the market's coming down. No, that does not align with what's going on here. What's going on is, did you get your setup based on your strategy and did you take it? And if you're not taking it, that's a mistake that you're making. Why are you making that mistake? So many of you guys do not even know why you're not making that mistake, other than you don't want to lose. Why are we so afraid of losing in this business? We're not running in the Olympics where coming in first place and getting gold means everything. We are going to lose. It's in fact the losers who get losses out of the way as quickly as possible are the most successful, because they're the most comfortable with losing. They're the most comfortable with doing the right thing. See all of you guys on the inside of Evolution Traders, those of you guys who decide to join. Let's fix the issues starting today. Let's get to the best possible outcome starting tomorrow. Let's work on everything that we've been doing that's not working, because obviously if you're here and you're on YouTube and you're wasting time watching videos, you are not actively putting in time to do things that you need to do, because watching this video, me outlining my trade setup, is not going to help you. Because if it was, then you wouldn't be watching videos on other people showing their trades. You would take your trades and you would be happy with your outcomes and you would be off living your life. So if you want to get off the computer screens and out living your life, make the adjustment and let's make something happen. I'll see all of you guys on the inside.